What's up?
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Allastrology. I'm Amy.
And I am G.
And I hope you're having a great afternoon. It's beautiful outside. I think we finally got spring weather here in Chicago.
We're crazy. We're inside recording, but we have to do it.
Yeah, but we have to do it.
This is our part two.
Part two.
Of the May 18th.
May 18th full moon that's coming up. We got to get these in and we got to get them done. We got to get them posted up onto YouTube. On a personal note, I'm tomorrow, which is Thursday, I'm going in for surgery, so we got to get these done.
Yes, this is a big full moon. Fascinating. Your surgery is tomorrow, so obviously we've looked at her chart months in advance.
Yeah, we actually did. We actually looked at the chart before we set the date for the surgery.
Why not?
We wanted to make sure that everything was going to line up okay.
Especially because you had just come off of a surgery and you had had such a rough year and your physical health was,
I came really close to
death.
To death.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like it's, you really had a huge turnaround.
Yeah.
We were just saying a few days ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, it was like, there's no way.
Yeah, 2 months ago,
it was like, should I cancel the surgery?
Yeah.
Because could you even?
2 months ago, I wasn't doing well.
No, not at all. So astrology helped big time because it was, yes, there's going to be difficulties in your life, but your physical health, it shows in the chart, your physical health is going to be there for you.
Right.
But you're going to have some other stressful tension type of things, which is true. And it's planned out that way, actually.
It's already come up.
Yeah, but her physical health is strong.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about you guys and just tying in the relevancy to why we wanted to talk about the full moon, which is, it's all about this full moon in particular. It's a deeply emotional, intense full moon. It's in Scorpio at 27 degrees. What's the time?
It's at 4:11 p.m. on Saturday, Chicago time. So if you're on East Coast time, that means that it's going to be at 5:11 on Saturday. If you're in a later time zone, make the adjustment. That's the height of the full moon. That doesn't mean that that's the only time the full moon energy happens. The energy builds up to that full moon, and then it...
Sorry, go ahead.
We got the garbage truck outside.
Keep talking.
And then the full moon energy decreases. So that full moon energy builds.
Yeah.
Hits the peak on Saturday. Up, garbage truck.
Holy crap. I thought they were done.
I thought they were done for the day.
Sorry.
Maybe we should...
No, he's gone.
Okay.
He's gone now.
All right. So it's going to build to early evening on Saturday, and then it's going to dissipate.
Yes. So whatever we talk about here today, remember, it's temporary.
Yep.
But it's funny. It's temporary. I know it sounds like a contradiction. It's temporary, but in essence, it sets up a long-term theme for the year for you. Okay?
Yeah. Because this is probably the most powerful full moon of the year, because it is a full moon in Scorpio, which is a highly intuitive sign. It's a really powerful sign.
It's transformational energy.
It's very transformational energy. So that's why it's really important that we get this information out to you guys.
First chart.
Our first chart is July 16, 1999, Chicago, 5:25 a.m. We have a sun in Cancer in the first house. Wow. Okay. We also have a rising sign of Cancer. That means that...
Double Cancer.
Double Cancer. So the rising sign and the sun are sitting right next to each other. We call this a conjunction in astrology. Whenever you have a conjunction in astrology, that heightens the energy. It makes it that much stronger. That means that those energies are much, much stronger than they would normally be.
So you live and die for your family. I'm just saying it like it is.
The moon in this chart is in...
That's what I'm looking for.
Is in... Sorry, the third house in Virgo.
The moon?
The moon.
Oh, the natal moon.
The natal moon.
Okay. Right.
We've
already gone through all those for you guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to dismiss what you're saying.
The one that this person came in with is in the third house in Virgo. The one that is going to happen on the full moon is in Scorpio, and that would I believe, be in the 5th house.
So that's where your 27-degree mark was. Get your chart, take a look. You're also
Yep.
going to see that it is right on top of the planet that has the letter K. Okay? That represents the planet Chiron.
Chiron.
Okay? It's the same degree. So it's another conjunction, which is a big deal.
Yep.
See that?
Whenever there's a conjunction, that's a really big deal.
Yep, it's the planets energizing each other, heightening each other's qualities, traits, and characteristics. So we have to talk a little bit. First of all, we have to dissect this so that you can understand this, because there's a lot at play for you. The good news right off the bat is that because it's a full moon in water, your ascendant is in water. Okay, so that's a trine. Okay. Which is a nice thing. Okay, that's a really good thing. A trine means it adds ease. All right, so that's the first thing we'll say. The full moon is all about our emotions, and it's in Scorpio, deep emotions, right? Deeply transformational emotions. In your particular chart, it's on top of the planet Chiron that we pointed out. And tell us a little bit about Chiron, because you are really a Chiron expert.
I am a Chiron expert because...
Chiron. I know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I've got Chiron in the house that's ruled by Virgo, and I've got it in Pisces. And Chiron kind of kicks my butt.
Yes.
Chiron is known as the wounded healer.
Yes.
And Chiron it's an asteroid, and it has kind of a wonky orbit. It's elliptical. It's not round. So it will spend a short amount of time in some signs and a long amount of time in other signs. And I also happen to have a planet sitting right on top of my natal Chiron, Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. So my wounded healer is really big.
Go ahead.
This is part of the reason why I have such a close relationship with Chiron.
Most definitely. It's deep emotional wounds.
It's
Chiron.
our deepest emotional wounds.
If you believe in a previous life.
These are oftentimes wounds that are brought through from past lifetimes.
If you don't believe in that,
they're carried through. If you don't believe in past lifetimes, these are the deepest wounds that we carry through our life.
From childhood.
From childhood. And so if you have deep scarring wounds that you've carried with you through your lifetime, this is going to be a time in your particular life, in this lifetime, where those deepest, darkest wounds that you've been carrying with you since childhood are going to come up. And because it's in Scorpio, which are things that are hidden, which are things that are buried, which are those things that you've maybe repressed or tried not to deal with, they're going to be brought to the surface. And this is when you're going to have to deal with them. You're really going to have to face them. You're really going to have to come to terms with them. This is going to be the time when you are going to have to deal with them and face them and really come to terms with them. This is going to be your opportunity to face them.
You have a way out.
There's always a way out.
Yes, you do.
Now, a way out doesn't mean, oh, I don't have to deal with it.
Right.
A way out means, okay, there's going to be ways for me to handle it. There's going to be ways to ease it. There's going to be ways to process what I'm dealing with. And so you always go to the exact opposite energy in the chart. So the energy that's on the opposite side. So in this particular case, the opposite side of the Scorpio energy is going to be the Taurus energy at 27 degrees.
Yep.
And that puts us in the 11th house.
Friends, social circles.
Your social circles.
Okay.
So if you have very close-knit friendships that you've had since childhood, which I'm going to bet that you do, you're going to go to those people that you have been the closest with through your life. Those people who probably know you, that you've been connected to, that you have shared those stories with, that you have shared those experiences with, and you are going to come to terms with those experiences.
Time to share some new stories.
And it's time to finally take those stories and maybe the ones that you didn't share with them,
Yep.
share those with them. You're going to sit down and you're going to sort through all of it with them.
My recommendation is to not do it on the full moon.
No.
You want to wait. This is an event will occur. The full moon means there's going to be a heightened emotion for everybody in the world, okay?
There's going to be a heightened awareness and a heightened emotion. So you want to wait until after the full moon. You want to wait till like 2 days afterwards.
Yes.
So
Because heightened emotions is never a time to get things worked out with anybody.
You always want to wait until after that energy starts to dissipate so that you're on the downhill slope of it. So as the week begins to progress and as that energy begins to dissipate and as you can begin to release that energy, then you can begin to let go of it and let it drop away from you. Think of it as you're at the top of the roller coaster on that full moon.
Yes.
You're at the top of that fear. And as you're going down the hill, and you can begin to let go of that fear as you're traveling down that hill, you can begin to let those things drop away from you. Okay? So as you're letting that go, then you can let those things drop away from you. And so as the week progresses after the full moon, you can begin to let go of those things, talk them out, let go of them, release them. And the thing to not do is to get wrapped up in and tied up in some of the negative things that you could do to bind up into them. The best thing to do is to release them.
This is going to happen in the 5th house. Children, fun, joy, creativity. Entertainment, okay? That's the area of your life, the 5th house. That's the area, that's the bucket where where the full moon, where the heightened emotion occurs, okay? And so she's suggesting, right? Go to your friends. Go to those who you trust.
Yep.
You hold your friends closely. I know that because I follow Venus. You're very intelligent when it comes to who you choose for your friends.
Yeah.
You're methodical about it. I can tell you that much.
You put a lot of value in them.
You do.
And you trust them, and you trust them to be intelligent and logical.
Yes, and that's exactly, anytime there's heightened emotions, the answer to it is to remain calm, to be the observer, and to be rational and logical. Okay? Go to Taurus, which is about peace and about being calm. And the ability to endure, and you do have the ability to endure this. It's like all energies, they are temporary.
Right.
Okay? So the processing of it and the actual healing process, it's not like it's going to happen during this time. This is about unearthing something and like, oh wow, I wasn't aware of that.
Bringing
oh my
it
gosh.
to the surface.
Yes. And then you begin the journey of healing, okay?
Right.
With processing, with communicating. You know, it's something that happens over time.
Right.
So use this to, just don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. You have what you need, which is your friends around you who can help you to get through things like this. That's what they're for, trusted sounding boards, reason and logic.
Absolutely.
And with that, your emotions, again, I know you're a really sensitive person, all right?
Yeah.
I don't know you, but I know you because I'm looking at your chart and I'm looking at your rising and I'm looking at your sun sign. And so I know emotional sensitivity is already a very big deal for you.
Yeah.
I want you to be more aware of that right now, understanding that we're talking about additional emotions added to who you already are. So you have to step in. A part of you, higher part of you, has to step in and be the coach, be the mother, be the mentor to the other parts of you that have these really sensitive emotional things that feel that they can't handle. Okay? So you're really just going to have to do that. Not that it's going to happen, like I said, overnight, but recognize that this is kind of like a call to action for you in dealing. It's hard being a very sensitive person.
It is.
It's very difficult. I
very
empathize with
difficult.
you. It's hard in this world. People don't realize sounds, senses, smells, thoughts, how much they affect sensitive people. They just don't realize they're like these they're like these walking sponges in a sense where
we absorb
and
all
people
of
don't
it.
realize that people like that exist. And so I understand that for you, and I just want you to be prepared.
And don't drown in it. Being a water sign,
Yeah.
you might feel as
That's
if you're actually
important.
drowning in the emotion.
I always say keep the nose and the lips above the waterline.
Yeah.
It's important to do that. Even if it's just the nose and the lips, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, if you can do more, wonderful. But focus on being logical, being rational. Be the observer. Be the observer of yourself.
Cancers
okay?
are signs that want to move forward, want to progress, are always wanting to move in a forward motion. So keep that in mind and keep that forward motion going.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so move forward with that. And don't get bogged down. Don't let the water pull you under. Okay?
Yes, you can do this. You have the stability, you have the endurance, you have the reliability of your tribe.
Yes.
Okay, that's what they're there for.
Absolutely.
That's what they're there for. And you know, just remember you're not alone. Okay?
You'll never be alone. You're always going to have those people around you that are going to be there for you.
Yeah. Okay?
Okay?
So just be aware of what's coming up and start planning, you know? Something emotional happens, how am I going to respond? I already know I'm a sensitive person, so I got to have some sort of a backup plan for me. And I would recommend going back to your new moon intentions that we talked about in the previous videos. We spent a lot of time with you guys going super deep on that.
Yep.
And so I want you to go back to that. Start writing those down again, start speaking them, start focusing on the highest and the best for you. Okay?
Alrighty.
Next chart.
Moving on to the next one. July 8th, 1999 in Oak Lawn, 7:35 p.m. We have another sun in Cancer, so another sensitive person. This sun in Cancer is in the 7th house. We have the moon is in Taurus in the 4th house and a Capricorn rising.
Where's the full moon on May?
The full moon
May 18th occurring?
is going to
Scorpio.
occur in
Scorpio. I'm sorry. It's 27 degrees in Scorpio is the full moon.
27 degrees in Scorpio is over here in the
That's the 11th house,
11th
right?
house.
All right. That was
Yeah.
a tricky one because we're going to show you your chart. It's tricky because it's right on the line of the 10th and the 11th house, but it is in the 11th.
It is in the 11th, and it's right on top of Chiron. Another one that is right on top of Chiron, the wounded healer. So I hope you were listening to the previous chart when we talked about the wounded healer and the importance of being aware of those deep emotional wounds that we carry with us.
So you're a Cancer sun, sensitive person. I have to reiterate that because, well, we're talking about a full moon that's going to involve our emotions, deep emotions, okay? We've got to find out where is this full moon happening at 27 degrees in Scorpio, and it's in this house number 11, which is our tribe, which is our friends, our social circles, okay? And it's right on top of Chiron, like she just explained, and she went into depth about Chiron in the previous person's chart. So if you didn't hear it, go back, listen to it. But
now it's going to look different because it is in the 11th house.
Yes, but the meaning of Chiron, she gave you the meaning of what Chiron means. And so Chiron is your deepest emotional wounds. And it's in regards to your social circles, actually. And this full moon's happening right on top of it. So unlike the other person's chart, their oh my gosh moment, their Scorpio moment is going to be in their social circles. Something is going to come to light.
Yeah.
The full moon's going to occur and it's going to affect you because it's right on top of your Chiron.
Right.
Right? The Chiron is the
so
energy
these emotional wounds have to do with your social circle, whereas the last one had to do with a completely different part of their life.
So for you, it's in your house of friends.
Of your friends. So there could be a deep emotional wound that comes up about somebody about a group of friends that you have or that you've had. So,
and because it's the 11th house, we talk about friends. Friends can be the internet too. The internet is the 11th house.
Yeah.
Okay, so social media. There
It
might be
could
some
be-
silly, crazy ass thing that happens that comes out
yeah,
there.
there could be
You
some
know, just-
crazy ass
Right.
shit that happens on social
Right.
media.
Conversations that are
could-
had, and people say shit on
could
social
hurt
media they'd
you
never say face
very,
to face.
very badly,
Yeah.
and you feel really wounded by what happens on social media. That is not kind, and
Right.
this could really damage, like really feel painful to you.
Right, which recognize it's on top of your Chiron. So in
Yeah.
other words,
It's
that
gonna-
same event could happen to somebody else. Somebody could say the same exact words, but it
And it
wouldn't
wouldn't
affect
matter.
them as deeply because this is a wound that you already have. It's already an
Yeah,
existing
it
wound.
could
is the
it
point.
could bring up an old wound
Right,
that
'cause
you've
it's-
already got.
it's what it is.
It could remind you of something that somebody said to you a long time ago, and it's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody's saying this to me again.
And because it's in Scorpio, it's a wound you were not really even
Aware
aware
of,
that you had
yeah.
until someone kind of hit it
Reiterate,
again,
yeah.
tapped at it. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, oh God, that still hurts. What is that?
Yeah.
You know, what is that? And like, you know, so with that, there might be not this full awareness because it's a Chiron wound in Scorpio.
Right.
So people who have Chiron, it's always some deeply emotional thing, which is already hard to find. But when it's in Scorpio, it's that much harder to find as well.
Right.
I know that all sounds crazy.
I know
but
it
it's what
sounds
is.
really crazy, but I can
Yeah.
give a really good example of several years ago when I went through a Chiron return. When Chiron came back to the exact same place and it was in my chart, I had a memory. I had a memory from when I was a toddler. And it was this horrific memory. I finally came to the realization of why I hate basements. I hate basements. I despise them. The house that I live in right now has no basement. It has a crawl space. I hate going down into basements. I've never liked them. And it's because when I was really, really little, when I was a toddler, my brother used to take me when our parents were out for the evening, and he would lock me in the basement with the lights out.
What an asshole.
Right?
I mean, really.
And I had
How old
blocked,
were you?
I was 2, 3, 4 years old.
Yeah, that's a complete asshole.
Right. So
That's-
I had completely blocked
Yeah.
this memory from
Yeah.
me. And it didn't come back to me until Chiron had come back around and hit the same place in my chart. So
Good example.
this is the type of deep emotional wounds that Chiron can bring up.
Now, your Chiron is in Pisces.
Yeah.
Murky water.
Murky.
Hard to see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also is in the
Emotions.
6th house, which is the house of home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we have to be aware of how these things play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
So
example.
that's a really good example
It
of
is.
how those buried kind of deep emotional wounds can come back up to the surface.
Okay. And so from there, you were then able to at least recognize that
Process.
it happened, and then began the journey of processing, and
Right.
then eventually healing.
I still don't like basements.
Right. So that's my point here. That it's not something that just happens overnight. The healing
No.
and the processing of it. It's not. It's the beginning of a journey. It really
Right.
is. And so, if you don't, you got to begin it somewhere. That's
Right.
the whole point. It has to begin at some point in time. And so this may be that time. Is what
And
we're
I
trying
may
to say,
never
you
like
know?
a basement in my life.
Yeah.
But at least I'm aware of why I don't like them.
Right, right. My gosh, that's really, you know. Anyway, so for you, your way to process and deal with when this heightened emotion happens is like we've been suggesting for all the full moon signs.
Right.
Remember back to when we did your intentions, because we did your intentions on this chart. I see the new moon marking in Taurus. It was right there. It was in your 4th house. Now it's going to be a little bit different for you.
Right.
For you, it's now going to go in your 5th house. It's still
Right.
using the Taurus energy, but it's now in your 5th house, which is creating, okay?
Right.
Having a good time, doing something that gives you joy. It could involve children or something you did as a child, when you were a child that was fun, okay?
Or doing
So-
something highly creative.
highly creative. It's going to be probably also something that has to do with your hands, okay? Be creative. And it could be communicating, writing, talking, communicating in some fun way, poetry, I don't know, do stand up. I'm not really sure. You know, like you have freedom, okay? But this is your way. to help that energy, to add ease to the intensity of the full moon, is to go to the opposite side, okay? And so it's in the house of having a good time. It's in the house of romance, right? Flirting, you know, which Gemini would be really good at too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably a huge flirter. Seriously. And you have a lot of fun with it, you know. Gemini talks, Gemini communicates. This is the sign of Gemini, and you have a lot of Gemini here. But this is a Taurus thing, right? So it could, you know, maybe go for a walk, go to spend time with the earth, you know, do earthy things, do Taurus things. Yep. Taurus is all about remaining calm and stable. You know, you want to be the observer of this full moon, okay? Right. Use some rationale because it's so highly emotional and some logic, but you know,
find ways to incorporate both of those kinds of energies to get you through and over the hump of this difficult energy.
And you might be tempted to pull in family into this. You might be tempted to go to family to help you kind of process this. I could see that because you have so much of that in Taurus that kind of bleeds over, especially your mother or a mother-like figure. That's a possibility, and again, that's a possibility. I don't know, but it would show that you'd be inclined to do that, okay?
Right.
I just, you know, this is going to be about finding a way to make yourself feel secure, okay? Making yourself feel comfortable and secure and safe, and go and have fun is what I'm recommending for you to do, okay? You're going to have... Here's the thing, I can trace your fun. Your fun is being kind of traced to yourself, having to choose yourself.
Yep.
And I know...
Put yourself first.
Yes.
In this case.
Yes.
You know, don't put other people first.
Find something that's going to make you laugh. I want you to do that. Really, I do.
Go do something that's for you.
Yes.
Instead of for other people.
Yes.
Don't put other people first.
Right. Because
you have a tendency to put other people first. So for once in your life, do yourself a favor and put yourself first.
Yeah, it's okay during this time. Everybody has to do that sometimes, you know, and that's how we strike balance, okay? But have it be fun, whatever it is. I want you to laugh, okay? Yeah. That's going to help you out with this.
Absolutely.
Having something to laugh about, and involving something that you really value.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
So remember, stay calm, keep even-minded. You go to your creative side.
Yeah.
And don't forget creativity with the hands, too, and communicating. Okay?
Right.
However that can be. I was telling her, God, this looks like someone who'd be good at sign language. She like, whether you've ever done it or not, because you've got Gemini, and Gemini's all about the hands, and it's the house of being creative. And I don't know, maybe that sounds quirky and crazy, which could be, or who knows. But, yeah.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
You can do this, all right? So I'm telling everybody, because it's true. We think we don't have the energy to handle the energy that's coming up, but we do have it. We
always have the energy to get through everything that we have to get through.
While you're listening, take a moment to hit the bell and subscribe to our channel if you already haven't done that, or hit the other bell, which is hitting the alerts to find out when we're dropping our next fresh information.
And do us a favor. You all love sending us direct messages to let us know how we're doing. But please, 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 it goes a long way with YouTube if you leave us comments below the videos. We will comment back to you below the video, but it really, once we get our viewership up, they're going to go back and they're going to look at what the comments were from you guys. They're going to look at our comments back to you.
How fast we responded.
And we will respond back to you, but we
Sincerely.
do need those.
Not because someone's watching. We do this because we enjoy doing this and we give a damn. You know, like there's nothing false about it.
We really do want you guys to comment below the videos for us.
Yep.
And we do appreciate all of your comments.
We really appreciate it. And I get people who say, I'm sorry, because I'm backing up and we need a little bit more light. People will say, God, I really enjoyed such and such, you know, like people who I'll actually talk to.
Please post that
I didn't know that.
YouTube.
Yeah, like that. Not only that, but if you think about it, it helps other viewers too.
Yeah.
Who are maybe new to our channel, who don't know you guys, who don't know us. And then they read the comments to check us out because our viewership's so low. They'll at least read the comments and be like, well, gosh, let's see what other people think.
Yeah.
So that helps them. It gives them a heads up like, hey, these people are legit. They know what they're talking about, or whatever your opinion is, okay?
All right.
We're open.
All right, so our next chart is July 27th, 1992, 5:55 p.m., Chicago, Illinois. We have Sun in Leo in the 7th house. We have the moon in Cancer in the 7th house, and we have a Sagittarius rising. So for this person, their full moon is going to be in
I was going to show you your chart.
What is
11th
that?
house.
The 11th house.
It's happening in your 11th house. So that's kind of like the other chart, right? It's happening in your social circles.
Yep.
See that? It's in the 11th house. This person has a transformative energy already in their 11th house. That's Pluto. This is it's not on a planet or anything, okay? But it is an emotional full moon. It's the full moon of Scorpio, which is occurring May 18th, like at 4:11 p.m., she said. That's this Saturday. And it's going to involve your social circles, your friends. It could be the internet. It could be the social media. And it's going to be highly emotional. And it's something that is going to be brought to light, something that appeared to be hidden before. And there will be light shed on it. And in some way, your emotions will get heightened. And others' emotions will get heightened as well, because this full moon is affecting all of us. So because yours doesn't happen right on a planet or a house line or anything like that, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
This won't be as intense for you.
It's going to be a little bit easier than some of the other ones that we've seen.
Yeah, we've
so
been dealing with
far.
some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
The solution that we've been giving, the advice is to go back to the new moons. We've been, like I said, did some prep videos for this full moon energy, but your new moons energies we went into really deep with for you guys was how to go to the opposite of Scorpio energy, which is Taurus. And in your chart, the 27 degree mark is right there, okay? It's shared. This house, again, it's the 5th house, and it's shared in your chart with Gemini. So this is a very similar reading to the last chart in that sense. You're going to go to your 5th house, which is children, fun, joy, and creativity. It's all about having a good time. That's how you're going to do this. It's being creative in your fun. It might include children. It might include something you did when you were a kid, that you found was fun.
Or at least when you were younger.
Yeah.
So get involved with some new activities. Get involved with something. Get involved with something that you used to really enjoy. Get involved with something that you really love doing.
Yeah, and like
Something
Gemini is a big
creative.
factor in this house too, because you've got the Mars is there in Gemini at 0 degrees. Wow, you speaking is a big deal. Talking, communicating is a big deal. You might be a wonderful writer. Write. Whatever it is you do, take that Gemini energy along with that Taurus energy and communicate and use it and get it out.
That Mars energy is at the 0 degrees. That is a conjunction. And again, whenever something is a conjunction, that's heightened energy. That's much, much stronger
it's gonna help you
energy.
Totally. It's help for you. It's this shouldn't be as big of a deal for you as it is for other people. You can go to that opposite side and you have Mars, which gives you the lift, the inertia to act on being creative, on having a good time, being the initiator of having a good time, being the person who's got the ideas. Hey, let's go do this. It's funny because I don't normally do this, but you do have the planet of other significant partner, like romance, in that house. So maybe it is going ahead and finding somebody who you might have a romantic interest in and having a good time with. Just having fun though. Okay, I'm not saying go and strike up something or go to necessarily a physical, intimate level, but just have fun for
with
having
that
fun.
person.
Yeah, have a good time, and then incorporate your communication abilities. Okay, be creative with your hands. I'm not saying in a sexual way. I'm saying I have to say it because Taurus is in that house, and sometimes the tendency for that energy is to be that. But it can be. I always paint, write. Draw, whatever it is you like to do to be creative, because it's in Gemini. Geminis like to use their hands, crafty, very crafty people. You have a whole buttload of Gemini energy, and you're extremely crafty. I know you don't want to call it that, but Mercury rules Gemini, so it's the same thing. Honestly, she wants to be in denial about it, but it is. So using her hands like this, oh my God, she's the MacGyver in the house, like every little thing. She's got all these tools and shit and just all these things that require, because tools require hands. Like
I'm the
she
tool
totally
queen.
is total tool queen. So the other part of this reading I want to touch on is There might be a little bit of tension for you in regards, this is the 8th house, but it starts in Virgo. Here's the square. So there just might be a little bit of tension. There's really no planets there, but there might be, you might have a little tension with some Virgos that you know or something, or maybe even some Pisces. Just some slight tension. You don't have a planet there. It's in the house of people that you actually connect with in a deep way.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the house of other people's what other people value. It's also in the house of the other side. It's in the house of the mystical house of the dead. Scorpios, you have a lot of Scorpio energy, actually, because all those planets are in Scorpio. This person has all these planets in the 8th house.
That's true.
You know, so what I'm talking about is this is the 8th house. That is the house of Scorpio. You have a lot of planets there. So even though you've got two different, you're a very complex individual, is what I'm saying. You've got Virgo energy and Leo energy all in Scorpio energy, right? So it would be easy for you to connect to the other side if you're into that sort of thing, which would be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. It might be, there just might be a conflict, a little bit of agitation during this full moon time with other people, what other people value and your own values. Okay? So other than that, it's all looking good. You got what it takes to make it through. Again, this chart isn't as serious as some of the other charts we've been slammed with.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying that very lightly, actually, because, you know, somebody else's chart that's got to live it, not me. But again, we all have the energy to handle what comes across.
And we all get more difficult and easier things of
Most
ease
definitely.
at different times.
Right.
So
Right.
while something might be a little easier for somebody at
this
this
time.
full moon,
Right.
they're going to get something that's harder at a different time.
Yeah, it's never the same way, right? And why?
Never.
Because it's all astrology, right? It has everything to do with where it hits.
Everything is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next chart is September 1st, 1970 at 3:48 a.m., Hammond, Indiana. We have a sun in Virgo in the 2nd house. We have a moon in Virgo in the 2nd house, major Virgo energy.
Yes.
And we have
Double
a rising, a double Virgo. We have a Leo rising sign. So for this particular person, the full moon is going to be in the fourth house. Fourth house, yeah.
We're going to show you your chart. It's significant. 4th house is home, family, right? It's also can be our childhood home, childhood experiences, things that that relate to from childhood.
Can also relate to our mother.
Yep, mother. Mother is 4th house. Cancer is 4th house, right? But 27 degrees Scorpio full moon. Look at, you got a planet there. So we have to address the planet that's there. It's at 28 degrees, I think it says. Anyway, that's the planet of Neptune. We've talked a lot about Neptune already.
Yep.
We will talk about it some more because for you this will be really relevant.
Neptune is illusion, it's delusion, it's the veil. It covers our ability to be able to see things clearly. So what will happen in this particular case is there could be things that will come up that will be hidden. You won't get all the information. You'll get information that might come piecemeal.
Yep.
The information will be hidden from you.
The full moon will shine a light on it. It will bring something to surface.
The full moon is going to shine some of the light on some of the information, but there's going to be pieces of the information that will be hidden from you because of the illusion of
because you have Neptune there. So the light, the full moon will shine. It's complex. There's something that's hidden. The full moon comes. It shines light on it. It's like, oh crap, I wasn't aware of that. But your perception of what you were not aware of is going to be clouded. Because you have Neptune. Neptune came to the party for you and said, oh, but I'm going to put this veil of illusion on top of what was just supposedly surfaced.
Right.
Make sense? Yes, it's complex. But you've got all that Virgo. You can figure this out.
Right, because Virgo is all logic.
Smart. All logic, right. And that's the solution. Did I say largic?
You said allergic.
Anyway, so in your chart, like everyone else's, we're going to go to the opposite side of the intense emotional full moon energy, because
Right.
that's what full moons are, especially a full moon of Scorpio. It's intense, deeply seated energy. We go up.
We're going to go to the 10th house.
Yeah. So up here is your solution, is your way of dealing with it. This ties back to your new moon intentions for everybody, really.
So we really need to go to being, we need to go to, oh, goodness.
27 degree of Taurus.
Right.
Did you say goodness because it's going to be conjunct Saturn at 22
Yes, I
degrees?
did.
Yeah. So this is what she saw. She saw that you have a planet there at 22 degrees. So this is your solution, though, okay? And because you have a 22-degree Saturn, you have an older Saturn. And it's in actually a sign that it does pretty well in, because they're both earthy.
Yeah.
Taurus is earthy. Saturn rules another earthy sign, which is Capricorn. And Saturn is placed in the 10th house, and it's in a really great place for it to be.
Because
So-
the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. So it's in
Which is ruled
its-
by Saturn, which
Yeah.
means Saturn's in a really comfortable, good
it's
place
in its,
there.
It's in its house that it's happy
Where it
in.
belongs. Yes, it's happy there. And being in Taurus, they get along pretty damn well. So you're like the ideal employer's employee. You know what it takes to get the job done.
Right.
You have your focus is always about quality in the workplace.
Getting the job done, working hard, making sure everything gets done the way it should be.
Yes. To all the Taurus qualities, you have the endurance to do it. You have the ability to work alone, to be your own manager. That's not a problem for you at all.
Nope.
So we're saying all these things because this is your way out, actually, at this time. This is showing you this is how you'll deal with it by being this, by going up there and dealing with these.
And just working through everything.
Yeah. And this is, the 10th house is the house of business. It's a house
Right.
of structure. So, this would be a person who'd be really good at owning their own business. Although you'd be a great employee because you've got that you've got great work ethic.
A couple other good things to think about is just being cautious.
Well, a Taurus and Saturn,
Being
you're
cautious and being economical.
yeah,
And
Taurus. You already are. This person is those things, and these are your
being
strengths.
being aware of
Yes.
being economical about everything that you do.
Yep. These are your strengths. These are your gifts.
Yeah.
No doubt. Because Saturn, a lot of people feel is throws us. We've done talks on Saturn. It throws us the hurdles in our early stages of our life. You have the degree of a planet, the numbers that planet has kind of reveals its age. Saturn already is an old planet. It's very wise. And you have a 22-degree Saturn.
And
which
the bigger
means
the number,
the older your planet is.
so they
More
say,
wise.
the more
Yeah.
wise it is.
Well, my point is, your Saturn's at 22. It's in a comfortable place. Like, I have a young Saturn. It's not real happy.
Neither's
It's
mine.
not very wise. Right, we have young Saturns. They're not real wise. Your Saturn's a little bit older and wiser, has been around the block and is able to share its wisdom with you at an earlier age.
Saturn is the teacher. It's where we learn our lessons. And so, you're going to learn a real life lesson here, probably with this moon.
Well, the moon.
You're going to learn a
that's her
lesson
answer,
from
though. The full moon is
your
not
lesson is going to
confusing
be
in the home. The full moon happens in the home.
I know, but whatever lessons you've learned is going to help you to get through this.
Yes, yes. This is where the full moon and the anxiety and the tension and the high emotions happens, and this is how you deal with it in a really good way. Okay? It's those Taurus qualities. Taurus is again about standing your ground, but having a sense of peace and stability. Okay? Being methodical, being having quality in mind. Okay, that is Taurus. You've got it, like I said, in Saturn. So structure, keeping things structured is on your side. You're probably quite known, I'm sure, as maybe being too structured at times. especially in the work area, because Saturn is there reinforcing structure with you.
Yeah.
And because Taurus does do really good working alone, actually, so it might at times, it might be more work sometimes to work with others. I don't know if I mentioned this before in this chart. You have food up there. Like, do you work in food or with food? You have food up there in the house of professional. That's food.
That's true. That is.
It is. You have food up there in the house of profession.
You have Sirius.
Yeah, Sirius represents grains, right? But like I have Sirius like in my 6th house, and I'm all about food. I've
But you
dealt
also
with food
have it.
for a living.
You have it in the house that is ruled by Virgo, which
I do.
is
It's domestic.
domestic
house.
things.
Yeah, right.
And I have it
Yeah.
in Leo, which is all about passionate things, and I'm really passionate about what I eat.
Yes, she is. So anyway, I just find it fascinating that you have that there, and that in other words, that might help as far as an outlet too, bring kind of maybe weave some food in it, because Taurus is about food too,
Well, that's true.
and agriculture.
It
Maybe
is.
gardening is a thing that you might. These are just ideas we're trying to give you to how to deal with this energy and what your solution is, and
true.
focus on those new moon intentions that you set. Whatever those were, focus on those. Write them down again. Speak them, because Taurus rules speech. You can do this. Yeah, you can do this.
We can all do this.
This is what this is about. The fact that the emotions come up and it's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can deal with this. Stay calm. Remember, it's going to pass. And use logic and reason. And never think that you're going to handle and deal with the full moon thing while you're in the full moon energy. You let it pass first.
Yeah. You
Gather
just kind of have
yourself.
to take a deep breath, suck it
Yes.
up, and just sort of let the energy pass, because
Yep.
it will.
Let it pass when you can get back to the less emotional state, which is rationality and ability to be logical.
Yep.
All right? You can do it. Next
God
chart.
knows I have to do that all the time.
Yes, she's a professional at it. She's had
I
to
don't
do
have
it
a
so many times.
choice.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what happens with a Leo moon.
September 8th, 1960.
Huntington, Indiana, we have a sun in Virgo in the 6th house, and we have a moon in Taurus in the 1st house. This is a Taurus rising, so we got double Taurus energy here. And this particular full moon is falling in the 7th house.
7th house full moon energy. So what does that mean? Our significant one-on-ones. Significant one-on-ones can be spouses, can be business partners. There's the 27-degree full moon mark. Okay, you have a lot of earth energy. Okay, you have a earthy moon, you have an earthy rising. 27 degrees, significant others. Okay, so
This is a earthy person.
so you might have a full moon event, which is again May 18th, Saturday coming up, and it might involve, like I said, a significant other. Significant others can be anybody that we put in that realm.
Yeah.
It can be a sibling, even though astrology doesn't teach us that. But think about it. If you have a sibling or a parent that you're really close to, where it's not just the typical, that's my brother or my sister that I see on all the holidays type thing. You might have, a sibling that you're really close to that you talk to almost
on
every
the phone
single day.
almost every day.
Yeah,
If you have that kind of a relationship, that's not just a sibling.
Right. That's a significant one-on-one relationship. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
It really is. So these readings and astrology, it's understanding it's the qualities, traits, and characteristics, okay, that is what you focus on about somebody. So if you got somebody who falls into that bucket, right, whether they are your partner, like whether you're married, like, contractually, or whether you have your business partner on paper, that's okay.
Right.
Find out who else fits in that bucket and understand that this is going to be relevant. So 27 degrees, significant others, highly emotion, right? Because that's what the Scorpio full moon is. It's going to bring something to light about one of those individuals.
Yeah.
Okay? It's going to bring
Definitely.
something to light that you were not aware of. Scorpio is all about stuff that was below the surface.
Yes.
So hopefully there'll be things that are going to come to light that you didn't see before, and unfortunately emotions are going to be involved. But like we've been telling everybody else, go back to your new moon intentions, which were in Taurus, okay? Because it's all about you. This is going to be something that is going to somehow change the way you think about yourself, okay?
Yep.
Because it's all about that. It all goes back to Taurus, and in your chart, it's your first house.
So this is going to be about you putting you first in order to overcome that emotional energy of the full moon.
Yeah, because it's a significant other.
Right.
And stay calm, be rational, be logical, be creative. Taurus is creative, and it's going to have to do with food. These are the solutions. These are the ways to deal with agriculture. Like, that's Taurus. Taurus likes things to be beautiful. Some people like to just clean to make things beautiful, which, by the way, this Virgo sun would be that.
Yeah.
You know, organizing things, making them look beautiful. Like, that's really stable, down-to-earth type of stuff.
Absolutely.
There is something I do want to mention in here that's relevant in your chart, which would be an agitation, a little additional stress at that time, and it's going to have to do. It might have to do with friends. You have
there
a
could be
lineup,
a wound.
a wound that there might be some agitation, and it has to do with friends, social circles. Could have to do with social media, like I've been telling a lot of other people. But see, you have a wound there, a deep emotional wound, and this full moon will be squaring that. And a square, what does a square mean, Miss A?
A square is often where we have difficulties.
Yeah, we have to work harder.
Yeah.
So in social circles, at this particular time, you know, you might have to work harder.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of something that
There could be
someone
something
says or
that
does
somebody
that-
says or does. There
kind
could
of like
be
put
something
salt
that
in the wound type of thing.
yeah,
that you already have.
Yeah, there could be somebody that you know that says something to you or about you that's unkind.
Yeah.
Or there could be something
Just
that
rubs
comes
you the
up.
wrong way.
Yeah, that comes up from the past, or something that goes across social media that's unkind, that's about you. When it's a square, it's not something you can just let roll off your back. You have to address it. Typically, when it's a square, if
But we're not recommending that you do it on the moon, on the full moon.
No.
Never address something on
always,
the full moon.
always wait until a couple of days
The
after.
energy dissipates.
Wait till the energy dissipates, and then do it in a really, really logical way, which you have the ability to do.
Yep, Virgo
Being
sun.
a Virgo sun and then having a Taurus rising, you have the ability to address it in a really positive, logical way. And where's 24 degrees? Yeah, you've got your Mercury, which is also about how you communicate, is in Virgo, which is also very logical. So, you know, you may not want to address it directly, but find a way to sort of backdoor.
Oh yeah, this person's going to be all about that, because when you follow their Venus, it's in the compromise. It's in a sign
Find a
that wants to talk
compromise,
to
find
people
a
in ways
backdoor
that's-
way to compromise, find a different way around whatever the situation is to get yourself out of it, and talk your way out of it, because that's what's going to work in a very logical, reasonable way, because somebody may say something that's really wrong. They could say something that is completely not who you are.
But just know that this is that energy.
But that's the energy
it's
that's
not
coming
truth,
out.
Okay.
It's not truth. They could be out and out laying about you. But use your logic and use your way to use logic to make people realize that whatever this person is doing is total BS. But make sure that you wait until after the full moon passes, wait a few days past it, and then you use your logic and your ability to talk and your ability to reason and your ability to negotiate, and you put out the information in a really clever and really intelligent and articulate way to make it show that whoever is doing that to you is the one that's in the wrong.
Understand that it's not just in your social circles as well. It can also have to do with your children, okay? Children, romance, fun, joy, creativity. It'd be in that area as well because it's the square is a line that occurs like this, right? And so it creates a square to this, and then at the same time the full
both
moon,
ends.
yeah, it's squaring this too. And so this line of energy we're talking about is friends are up here, and children, joy, and creativity is down here. Social circles, and down here is,
And it
the
could
other
come
stuff.
as a real surprise or shock to you when it happens.
Yeah, it could. It could. And that surprise or shock would be more along the lines of
If
children,
it
joy,
is-
creativity,
yeah.
and romance, by the way. Take a
Yeah.
look here.
Yep.
Because this is the planet of surprise. It's right there. And that's squaring this full moon. And it's in the house of romance, in the house of children. I'm going to lean towards children because it's not only in the 5th house, but it's that planet of shock is in Leo.
Yep.
So I would say it's more about children,
Yeah.
actually. More of a surprise in that regard. And I don't know what to say to that except we're telling you here right now. So you kind of prepare yourself
keep a heads up.
mentally and just be calm and
Keep a
stable.
heads up.
And you have
Just keep your calm,
that
keep your
ability.
center.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to you. Let it pass. And then you just find a way to be really logical about it. And then you just keep putting out the information that's truth.
You keep
just
focusing on your new moon intention.
You keep focusing on your new moon
You
intention.
keep
and you
creating, keep working with food.
And you
because-
keep putting your truth out there.
Yeah, having lots of projects, creating beauty. Do you feel like when you work with food, you're creating beautiful things? Because this is what this suggests, right? The Venus
Yep.
is in Libra, it's in the 6th house. Like you're doing beautiful things with food,
Yep.
and that's what works for you. That's what makes you feel good. Be in that zone, and do it. All right. So is that it on this episode?
That's this episode.
Okay,
this
that's
set of
awesome.
charts.
So I'm gonna do a little more business, which is just a little plug on the Zodiac starter pack that's coming up for
Okay.
you guys. We are working on it, and
We're really close.
we are really close. It's going to be super affordable. It's going to be super awesome. We are literally holding your hand and walking you through, learning how to look at a chart. We have an example chart in the pack for you
Yep.
that we go through, and anyway, we walk you through it. It's going to be fabulous for those of you that are serious about making sense out of looking at something like this.
Yep.
And wondering where the heck to begin.
Yep.
We do all that for you. We take
Yep.
you hand in ours, and we walk you through it. So it'll be coming out no later than this weekend. That's the
Really?
deadline I'm giving myself. Yes, no later than this weekend.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, it's going to be affordable, and
It'll be on our website.
if you haven't done so already, go below, subscribe, and make sure you please tap that bell so that you get the alert for when we let you know it's available. We will release
Please
the video.
leave comments below. I know you guys love to give us direct comments.
Yes, and we like that.
And we love that.
We do.
Please,
Love feedback.
please do us a favor.
Yes. I know we lost all of
please-
our lighting all of a
All of
sudden.
a sudden. Please leave comments.
Oh, we lost the battery. Go ahead.
Please leave comments below so that YouTube sees them because that
Yeah.
makes a big difference for us.
Yes, and we appreciate it. Thank you. We love doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
This is who we are. This is part of our whatever the heck our mission. Get the knowledge out there.
It is.
But remember, one way you can help us and support our channel is share our channel.
Yeah.
That is big, okay? Share
Huge.
us, share your knowledge that you're
Huge.
learning from us, okay?
Yep.
That you're learning from astrology, okay?
Yep.
And with that,
Just
gonna say
remember.
bye.
Just remember, no matter what's going on around you or in your life, it's all astrology.
Bye.
Bye.